Hello, it's Eamon McAuley here for Belfast Boxers, and I'm up in Lisburn here today, and I've got one of the legends of Irish boxing with me, John Rodgers. In fact, one of the forgotten heroes of Irish boxing. John, were you born and reared in Lisburn?
I was indeed, yes.
Talk to me about that.
I was born and reared, born in the Lisburn city. It was Lisburn town then, and just went to school in Hilden, and primary school in Hilden. I wasn't very successful at it. I wasn't very, I couldn't read and write when I went to school. It gave me a hard time, so it did. Yeah.
So what age were you when you started boxing?
I was 10-year-old, yeah.
And you went to the Lisburn Boxing Club?
Lisburn Amateur Boxing Club, yeah.
Did any of your family box?
And a brother boxed, Paddy. Me and Paddy held the record for two of us winning Ulster senior titles in one night.
Right. Yes. Any success as a schoolboy then coming up? Did you win the Irish titles or Ulster titles?
Won flyweight, 8-stone youth, Ulster and All Ireland, and then went on to win the junior, Ulster lightweight junior, and All Ireland senior.
Twice All Ireland senior, 7 Ulster senior.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, you had a bit of a rivalry with Jim McCourt.
Indeed, yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Well, I was the underdog all the time, going against Jim, you know, and I thought, first time he beat me, but second time I fought Jim, there was no way he beat me, and got the decision, so he did, but there was a lot of controversy over it, so it was...
Was that the night there was hand-to-hand fighting afterwards?
It was indeed, yeah.
And you ended up in the hospital?
I ended up in the hospital. Barney Wilson was brought into it then. They got him for me. They sorted me out. Then McCormick said some sarcastic remark in the ring, and when I got out of the ring after the fight, it was a world decision and all good, where everybody thought that I won the fight. And I got up into the foyer, and Barney Wilson was standing, and Ned McCormick shouted, there he's there. And Barney ran over to me, and they were pulling me off him. And the next thing, Barney lashed out and pelted me, and that was it.
Right, so they rushed you to the hospital?
I went to the hospital and got 8 stitches in my eye.
And what did the doctor say to you?
The doctor said to me, he says, when I went in, he says to me, he says, what happened to you? I says, I was boxing tonight. And he says to me, he says, what's your name? I says, John Rodgers. He says, are you the guy who was on TV tonight? I says, oh, I was. He says, oh, I didn't see you getting the cut out. And I says, tell him there was a bit of a Barney outside after, and I says, I come off the worst. And they wanted me to take Barney Wilson up for doing what he did to me, that he was a professional boxer.
Yeah, and a hard man in his day too.
A hard man in his day, yeah. And they wanted me to take him up for, and I says, no, I'm going into Belfast all the time, so I don't want to know how to carry on. So I didn't bother pressing any charges.
So McCourt got the decision twice, but one of them was very, very contentious.
Yeah, that was the one that when we brought Barney in to do me.
Yeah, and McCourt sort of coming towards the end of his career, and you just sort of really starting out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, what years did you win the Irish senior title?
Irish senior title was 76.
But what I noticed was you went to the 72 Munich Olympics, but you didn't win the Irish senior title that year.
No, McCourt, that was the year McCourt beat me.
Right.
72.
So you got picked ahead of him?
Yeah.
Well, that says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Talk to me about Munich then. What an experience.
Yeah, it was a great experience. It's one that you'll never forget, like, you know, in Olympian. And fight that I fought a guy called A.B. Boucher from Denmark. He already beat me against Ireland versus Denmark in Dublin, and that was my fight in the Olympics in Munich. That was my first fight. And I beat him. I beat him in the Olympics, and then I fought the Russian after that, and that was the end of my Olympics.
Right, well you were over with your good friend Jim McCourt.
Yeah, me and Jim was good mates, yeah.
Well Jim, did you witness the hostage siege?
We were in the same, in around the same camp, you know.
Because it was alphabetically ordered. Israel and Ireland were together, yeah.
Yeah, so we seen most of what was going on, we seen it, yeah. Did indeed.
Wow.
Quite sad, yeah.
And any other memories from Munich? All good, Lo?
All good, yeah.
Okay. You went to Christchurch, New Zealand in 1974.
That's right.
Commonwealth Games, you got a bronze.
Yes.
Well, talk to me about that.
My mate then was David Armour
Right,
in the 74.
right,
And he won the gold medal, David.
right.
And me and David was good mates.
Well, let me take this opportunity to bring Davy in. Come on in, Davy, here. Bring you in here. Just sit right here, please. Yeah, there's maybe the two of you can sit at the tea here because the sun's died. John. Yes, that's nice. So yes, Davy Larmour got the gold in Christchurch at flyweight
Yeah, I can remember.
against Narian An, the Indian.
Yeah, did indeed.
And what happened to you? Talk to me about the fights you had out there in Christchurch.
I just got a bye in the first series, and then I went into the second series and fought the Welshman. I fought the, who was it I fought? Jeez, I forgot who I fought.
But you got the bronze.
Got the bronze medal.
And in the semi-final, was it close, or were you close to getting that final, or were you well beat there?
It was the Welshman I fought.
Did he get the gold?
Mackenzie.
Right,
Yeah, he won the gold.
right.
Yeah.
And great camaraderie amongst the team.
Oh God,
I mean, this is an Northern Ireland team, and the troubles are raging in '74. Places going bananas, but it was great friendships and great camaraderie amongst Catholics and Protestants within the boxing family.
Yeah, sure. My best friend, the whole lot of them, was David Armour, and me and David's great mates. I'll never forget when David won the gold. That he come back to the hotel, and the next thing was that the weightlifters, it was shepherds, you called them. And Shepard seen Davy coming, and he thought the automatic doors was open, and he run over to congratulate Davy. And the door was shut, and he run right through the glass. And he run right through the two brothers, and they smashed the glass. So that was their goal.
So, what about this party in Leopold Street? Was he not invited, Davy? It was a surprise party.
No, it was no party. The Leopold Street, we came home about 3 o'clock in the morning, and Jack Monaghan, Jerry Hamill and myself were in the taxi, and as soon as the taxi turned Columbia Street into Leopold Street, we seen the fire, and I says, stop the taxi, there's a rat here.
That's right.
We'll walk it down, and says, no, I don't think it's a rat, and we'll get down. And the next thing, I got out of the house and it was surrounded with people, and about half an hour later I heard Hamill's voice, Larmour, tell them to let us go home. We're still outside the house.
Was there any civic reception or anything for you?
Nah.
No,
Right.
there wasn't, no.
So what was the medal hall then in Christchurch? Who else? Anybody else from the boxing got medals?
No, it was just one gold.
What did you call the heavyweight now? It wasn't
heavyweight Gordon
Gordon
Ferris.
Ferris. Did he not get a bronze? I think he
Davy
got a
got
bronze.
He got a bronze.
He did
Gordon
indeed.
Ferris got a bronze, that's right.
So a few months later then, you were picked to go to Havana, Cuba for the first ever World Senior Championships.
That's right.
And I've got the full team here with me because it was only a two-man team.
That's right.
And it was only three men actually made the journey, no physios or anything like that, just yourself, John, Davy and Jerry Story.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
That must have been quite an adventure.
It was indeed lovely.
Well, talk to me about Havana, Cuba.
Havana, Cuba was...
Was it a poor country or?
well, we were well treated. We had interpreters, no, with us. They were students.
Nellie Lestrada was there.
There were students and they were sent with us, but anything you wanted to know, you were told to ask the interpreter, and anything we asked her was, she gets to shake her shoulders and says, me don't know, me don't know. They were told not to
At
tell
that
you.
games, every night, Leon Spinks and Marvin Steenson, Graham Munton used to come to our flat,
About Americans.
and we had cokes and stuff and cheese sandwiches. That's what
I say,
we did.
yeah.
Well, I know Graham. Graham was a good friend of mine, Graham Meldon. He represented Barbados, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 years later he represented the GB, I think, at the Olympics. He was in the same side of the draw as you, but for the World Championships he represented Barbados.
Yeah, that's right.
Lovely man. So talk to me, is Matt Castro, Fidel Castro?
Met Fidel Castro, I say. We were going to the stadium one night, me and Davey was walking it, and next thing this big bulletproof car pulled up. The next thing, me and David had iron tracksuits on us, and with a car coming behind us, he seen the iron rope in the tracksuit, and he stopped the car beside us and got out. His bodyguards and all got out and started talking to us. They were talking to us through an interpreter.
Through Nelly.
We were okay with it.
But what was that about? Was it a 20-pounder or a 40-pounder you said to Nelly?
He says, John says to me as we're walking by, what do you think, Davey, a 15-pounder would shift that? I says, oh, aye. And I walked on, and Nellie Lestrada said to John, what is 15-pounder? He says, it's a bomb. And she came flying after me, and I wasn't allowed to move. She had me by the arm, 2 arms. No, you can't do anything.
And where was Story during this? I thought the thieves would have been in each other's pockets.
No, the story wasn't with us at that stage.
No.
I never seen him.
No, we knocked about together. I remember one instance, one day at the pool, John and I was in the pool, and Jerry Story was in the pool, and the pool was open to the public, and there was a judge and referee from Canada, Jerry.
That's it, yeah.
I can't remember his second name, but we had been lying in the bed sunbathing, and Jerry Story called him to the ringside, or to the side of the pool to ask a question, and John and I got up and joined hands, and he was in full Commonwealth Games gear,
Right.
and we came behind him with the 2 arms, and boom, he went straight out there. and he said to me afterwards, when we surfaced, he came out the side of the pool, he was soaked to the skin. He says, Larmer, don't ever let me referee or judge any of your contests because you're beat.
So did you both go out in your first contest, or
No.
did you win one, John?
I won.
Spaniard, he beat the Spaniard.
Yeah.
Right.
I won one of his big one.
Do you remember the wee flyweight got the gold, 17 years of age,
Can't remember.
from Puerto Rico? Wilfredo Gomez.
Oh, he was a bantamweight. He won the bantamweight.
Oh, bantamweight. He stopped the Cuban in 1 round in the final.
Yeah, he won the
Right.
bantamweight.
We were going up in the lift after the weigh-in, and the wee American says to Davey, he says, we got into the lift with Americans, and the wee American said to Davey, he says, you ever fight a tiger? Davey says, no. He says, you fucking fight one tonight.
I was in Chicago.
In Chicago.
I chased him out of the lift.
Well, listen, I heard the housemaids were very good to you. Free laundry. Talk to me about that.
Davey told me it was free laundry anyway, but
So you were getting all your laundry done free, you thought?
I think he took Jerry's story on. He had to pay it then.
Yeah, John went down to the pool. Me and him had fell out over something. I know it wasn't. She came in and she said to me, laundry? And I says, how much? No charge. I says, brilliant. So I emptied his bag, all the shirts, all the t-shirts, he emptied my own, give them. Away she went. I went down and told them at the pool. When we came back, they were all nicely ironed and on each bed. And this went on for about 3 or 4 days. And 3 or 4 days it went on, and the last day it coming out, we're booking out a hotel, the Havana Libre Hotel, and we're standing behind Jerry Story. She said, the girl at the desk says, you had laundry bill? And Jerry says, laundry bill? What laundry bill? He says, oh, £200 laundry, $200 laundry bill.
A lot of money then, 74, wow.
Me and him just turned them both away. Jerry paid the bill and charged it up to the Irish Amateur Boxing Association.
Did you have many international contests, John?
I had 40 full international.
Did you fight any ABA champions?
Yeah, fought Terry Waller.
Right, yes, I've heard of him, yeah. Any famous names do you box? Anybody went on to make it as a pro or?
Fought Alan Minter.
Right, I told you, yeah. Talk to me about that.
Fought Alan Minter in Ulster for Ulster. Ireland versus England on the Friday night in the National Stadium in Dublin. And I fought welterweight. I must give your man a cut eye. And the fight was stopped.
Minter?
No.
Oh,
the
the other guy, right, okay.
Welterweight.
Yeah.
So the welterweight couldn't fight me on the Monday night in Ulster versus England. It was Ireland versus England on Friday night, and then on Monday night, Ulster versus, they come down to Belfast and fought Ulster versus England. And my boy, the fellow that I fought, couldn't fight me, gave him a cut eye. So they asked me would I fight Minter.
Olympic bronze medalist from 72.
He was like medal.
I think Mickey Toll beat Dave Needleman there.
Right. So how did it go against Minter, Lou?
A lot of people thought I'd win the fight.
Wow.
Very, very close. And anyway, Minter, when I fought Minter, after that, he went on to win the world title.
Yeah.
Fought Hagler.
Yeah, and in getting into the fight, he was Olympic bronze medalist.
He was indeed, yeah.
Yeah, it was a tough fight. He was heavier than he was a southpaw to boot, and he'd all that experience.
He was indeed.
And you give him all he wanted.
Give him all he wanted, yeah.
We must try and get in contact with Mort to see if we can get Sammy Vernon fights and John Rodgers fights. He's bound to have them, Davey.
He's still alive.
Yeah. So what happened to you then after the Worlds in '75? Did you wind down your boxing career, or talk to me about that?
Went down a bit after that there, and that was 1974.
Yeah.
And I think I retired in 1976, went on, fought my last fight against a Hungarian.
Right.
There's no Pap's man.
Right.
There's a Pap was in the corner.
Yeah.
David Armour and myself was the only two winners that
Davey
night.
beat the Olympic champion that night.
Yeah.
Gretzko, wasn't that right? Gato. What a win, yeah. Wow. Did you win or?
I win, yeah.
Wow.
We were the only two winners, yeah.
So that was your last fight?
That was my last fight, retired after that.
Did you ever consider going pro?
I did indeed, and after I quit there in Hall against the Hungarians, there was a guy, what do you call the boy, done the promotions then, a guy called
Jerry Hassett or?
Jerry Hassett. Jerry Hassett rang me up and asked me, you want to go pro? And I said, no, I've finished boxing, that's it.
What age were you then, John?
I was 27.
Goodness, still young, like, but then, 27 would have been oldish then, but nice 27's nothing.
I turned pro when I was 27.
Yeah, and a later weight fighter too.
I was 27 when I turned pro.
Right.
Any regrets, John?
No regrets at all, no.
No. Oh, that's lovely.
No.
Any advice for any up and coming boxers?
Just, boxing's all changed from me and Davey was at boxing. Coaching and all has all changed, and what?
Two legends.
Well, I don't know, Davey was a better legend than me.
Two legends.
No, but any advice is welcome and should be taken on board. So.
Well, I'll tell what me and Davey seen the world out of amateur boxing, so it did. It's a great life, and I had a great life. I would never have been out of Belfast.
And bonded close friendships with Davey and Montague and boys like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So the highlight of your career then was probably the night you and your brother became Ulster senior champions.
Yeah, well, indeed, yeah.
I think it was the late 60s.
Yeah, it was indeed, yeah.
So after you finished the boxing then, had you a trade or what did you do with your life?
I
Or?
was a bricklayer per trade, yeah.
Well, I'm up here in your house now, John, and your house is absolutely beautiful. Many rooms. I mean, we've been on about 10 already.
No, I think they're
It's a mansion.
I think you're exaggerating.
But it's the TARDIS. It's a beautiful. You've done really, really well for yourself outside of boxing.
Yeah. Good man.
So, and many children that God bless you with.
I'm 7.
7 children.
Yeah.
All okay, all living?
And a wee boy died, wee boy David.
Yeah.
Called him after David Armour.
Did you really?
No.
Yeah, no. You got me there. And many grandchildren.
I've 7 grandchildren, yeah.
God's blessed you with so much, John.
Indeed, yeah.
And is there anything you want to say, anything you forgot to say before
I just want to thank everybody that helped me along the line, and my wife and family, and stuck by me.
Well, I'm absolutely thrilled. It's an honour and a privilege and a pleasure to be here, to get talking to you and to get meeting you and to get your wee interview on film. And we're going to put this on YouTube for posterity, and that'll be it forever. No one will forget you, John, because we're not going to let, and I love doing this for the old boxers, because we're not going to let them be forgotten.
Good man, Eamon. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless, John. Thank you. Thanks, David. Hello, I'm up in Lisburn here with Frank Prenter, who coached the Lisburn Boxing Club for how many years, Frank?
Year 50.
And what age are you now?
I'm 86, going 87.
You couldn't hit your age with darts and a dartboard.
Yeah, I think it.
So talk to me about John Rodgers.
Well, he appeared at that club with his mother, him and brother Paddy. 10 and 11, I think they were.
10-year-old.
And they weren't our club, you weren't allowed to box till you're 11-year-old. You see, I'd give them a year, if they're a 10-year-old, give them a year's training before they're allowed to box, you know. So then, these two boys went on, and when the two of them was in the senior championships together, and the two of them won titles the same night. And that was a second 2 brothers, I think, in Northern Ireland never to do that.
That's correct, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fisher Brothers was the 2 brothers.
And then John went on to, different things.
But what was he like as a person? Was he deep down? You knew him outside of boxing. Was he dedicated? Obviously he was.
Oh, he was
was he
dedicated.
nice? Was he had a nice way about him?
Oh.
Talk to me about him as a person.
Oh, he's definitely dedicated, and he was a nice man. But he's only a kid then when I knew him. You know what I mean? But the Paddy was the same. The Paddy, he left here and went on to win the Australian title, and over there in the right middle of the title, champion of Australia. You know, but that's sad.
There you go.
I've known him all my life, more or less. You know what I mean? I
Right.
used to think I was his dad.
John Rodgers was very lucky to be away with John in '74 at the Commonwealth Games. When I say very lucky, I'm there as an 18-year-old, and John's there at coming towards the end of his career, I suppose, and to be along with him and the likes of Davy Larmer, who more or less chaperoned you, kept you right in everything that was going on. John could be a very, very funny person, and at the same time could be very, very serious. A couple of incidents in '74. One I remember was that John at one time thought, leading up the actual competition, that we were actually training too much, and John had this in his head and in his mind, and he went and he confronted Eddie Thompson, God rest him, and Jerry Story about what we were going through in the training that we were doing. And on hindsight, I suppose, what I have learned and what I learned in my own career was that coming near the end of your training and looking to fight, there was a bit of agitation set in and a bit of grumpiness, etc. And I think this is what was happening with John. John couldn't wait to actually get involved in the actual boxing. And it was all sorted out at the end, and at the end of the day he finished up, he won a bronze medal at the Commonwealth Games. But a funny incident with myself and John and Davy was that on one of the nights, I remember we had to be in bed for 10 o'clock, and where our dormitory was, and with a movie house and one thing and another within the village, was a bit of a walk, and we walked across a big green, and I remember going over to the movie house that night, and I could see Larmer and John looking at something on the ground. I never paid much attention to it, but went on over, watched the movie. Can't remember what it was, but we had to be back for 10 o'clock. And anyway, Jerry Story and Eddie would have been waiting on us. And we were back at 10 o'clock and went to our different rooms. I roomed with Davy, and John would have roomed with Ray Heaney. And I remember going to bed, and it was a sort of a Waltons thing. Good night, John. Good night, Eddie. Good night, the whole lot of us. This type of thing. But I could hear them tittering and laughing, and couldn't understand what was going on. And it was only till I got my feet at the bottom of the bed that I realised they had lifted a hedgehog and put it at the bottom of my bed. And listen, it put the fear of God into me. I couldn't go to the bed quick enough. And that was a sort of John Rodgers, full of fun, but a great guy and a very serious guy, as I say, at the end of it all. As for his boxing career, I mean, if you look at his boxing career and the guys that he actually fought, go through all the home countries. What do you call him? He boxed Larry Paul. He boxed
Alan Minter.
Alan Minter. He boxed Steve Cooney. Beat Paul. Beat Cooney. Okay, Minter beat him. There was an guy, Davies, a guy from Liverpool, a hard nut, and he beat him as well. Any fight that I seen John in, I'm going to say fight, I describe it as a fight, because John went to war everywhere he went to. There was John boxing skills. John might have been limited a bit in boxing skills, but what he was limited in boxing skills, he made up for with a big heart, and he always gave it his all, always 100%.
But for John Rodgers as a man, I can't say enough about him. You could talk here for a couple of hours, and some of the things he's done and the contests that he's been in, the wars that he's been in, and I'm going from Chicago, Madison Square Garden, Munich Olympics, even going to Nigeria, where he fought and were in the jungle. And believe me, I'm talking about a jungle one night we were boxing, the ring collapsed, and with some great stories. And one particular time, the train broke down from a place called Unago when we were going up into Kano, which is right on the end of the Sahara Desert. But Rodgers, the train broke down. We needed somebody like John with us because the atmosphere was, it would have been, say, tense. I remember they brought us off the train into like a little mud cabin, and we're sitting there and we're asking questions. They brought out an old deck chair with something we'll be sit on at the beach. The chief came out and sat there, and we were talking, and he's asking John where he lives. John lived in Lisburn. Says, where does Terry live? He lives in Belfast. The wee chief said, Belfast? Whoa, he lives in the jungle. Listen, I could go on all night, but anyway, where John's concerned, listen, a terrific guy, and I still wish him all the best.